Hello, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So today we have Ryan with Orcs and Goblins. Ryan, say hi.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Versus the Kingdom of Equitaine, played by myself, Mark. I am Sir MC 2015 up on the boards of the Ninth Age. So if you live outside the Philadelphia area, close to Westchester, or Northern Shore of Maryland, or even South Jersey, please let me know. We're not that far, and more than happy to get a game in. And if you fit, we'd love to have you join our group. So right now, we're going to go over our spells real quick, and then we'll take a picture of the armies. So I'm sticking with my level 4. I played with this army a while ago, and I started liking having a level 4 with Lore of Life. I like having the Book of Arcane Power with her, because now she's a +3 to cast, and nature has high casting values. So I have Master of Earth, Stone Skin, Oaken Throne, and Summer Growth. And my level 2 Mage from Heavens has Blizzard and Thunderbolt, and of course there's Second Seal. The more I've been playing with it, the more I'm liking more Heavens because of those rolls that it helps me get, and the -1 to hits. But I think Ryan will attest. I've had my bacon saved a couple different times from Summer Growth and Stone Skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than once. So right here we have a picture of the Orcs and Goblins of Ryan's army. And Ryan, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you have here?
Sure. So we have a unit of goblins there. I have like 31 cave goblins. They have spears. They have nets, full command, war banner, and they have 2 mad gits hiding inside. Then I have a unit of 31 feral orc Ed Bashers, and they've got extra hand weapons and full command. And he's not separated in this picture, but I have an Iron Orc War Boss. He's in the back there. I have an Orc Shaman that's in the front right of those feral orcs.
If you see the guy with a spear with the big white thing on top, that's actually a skull, which looks really cool because it's the way we did that is basically we have the spear, skull, and then the tip of the spear coming out.
Yeah, sorry, that's not the greatest picture of him, but that's where he is. And then there's a scrap wagon, like fully kitted out. The Gargantula spider's in the middle. He has the web launcher.
2 scrap wagons, aren't there?
Yeah, and then there's another scrap wagon. That's the red wagon beyond the spider. He's also kitted out. I have 2 Nasher Wrecking teams. I've got a unit of 20 Iron Orcs, and they have plate armor. And they also have the banner that gives them a 5-up ward against shooting. And then I have 4 war machines. I have 2 splatterers, and I have 2 git launchers.
All right. So these are his spells being... I'll let you do it in your lovely voice.
Sure. So I took... he has the Tomb of Arcane Lore, so he gets 3 spells. I took the signature spell, which is a really good synergy spell for orcs. It gives them rerolls to hit in close combat. And then their attribute gives them rerolls of 1 to wound in close combat. So getting that spell off, that combo is really good for my big blocks. And then I took Oi No Dying, which is a 5-up ward save. And then I took the Big Stomp because I always loved the Foot of Gork. So I kind of felt I needed that big spell.
And then he, there's the ward save and then the big foot. Over here, he has Blessing of the Mother Spire where they gain poison, and then Distracting Hard Target as well.
Yeah, and I stole your attribute because goblins get to steal attributes, so I took the Heavens attribute, and I don't think I remembered to use it all game, to be honest, so spoiler alert there, but it didn't come into play.
Yeah, we started late, and we were playing late. Where's the spell that gives you the armor piercing and all that? Did I miss that?
I didn't get that spell this game.
Oh, that's what killed my knights.
No. That was the rerolls to hit in close combat, and the rerolls to wound.
I thought they had armor piercing too.
No.
Okay. All right, so here we were doing classical deployment because I think we rolled a 3. Then we turn around. Yeah, I know, cat fur. So I have 2 kids, 2 cats, and a dog. and we rolled a 6, so we both had to place our markers. So if you look down the bottom left, there together are the markers. One's very Kingdom of Equitaine, the other one is very undeadish, which is what Ryan's been playing as of late, because we're going to Judgment Day up in New York, which is not this weekend coming up, which is Father's Day weekend, but the following weekend up in New York in, what's the town's name again?
Oneonta.
Thank you, because I still can't say it. Even when I read it, I can't say it. And let's see. So that's it. So I'm going to go over my Equitaine list, because this is a list I put together and I had been playing with. I said, this is my list. I'm so happy with it. I actually am still happy with it, but I've been making some further tweaks. I think Ryan will attest that some of my tweaks I've been working on are definitely for the better. And it all stemmed from this. So going from the very, very far, I have a unit of 8 Knights of the Realm, then a unit of Peasant Bowmen, followed by Betsy and the Trebuchet. Then I have another unit of 8 Knights of the Realm. This one has my Damsel, my Paladin, which is my BSB, my Duke. Then I've got another unit of Peasant Bowmen. Then I have a unit of 18 Knights of Forlorn with my level 4 Mage, and a Paladin with the Beastbane Halberd and the Virtue of Piety. Then I've got a unit of 20 peasants, and they're angry peasants. And then at the bottom of the screen, I have some very old ancient Grail Knights. I think that's very fitting. So, turn 1. So basically, I think we started doing alternating, and then I just turned around and dropped everything.
Yeah, because you said flat out that you want to at least do a roll-off.
Exactly.
The first turn.
And I'm finding I'd rather have some luck with that than no luck at all.
He wins the roll-off every time. I want you to know.
No, that is not true. Dan won the roll-off. Okay, Dan won the roll-off when I played
against me.
Dan. And I think, Chris just dropped everything. I never had a chance with Chris. So there's that big piece of terrain, and there's those Nasher Wrecking teams. Those are death to knights, even though, yes, I now have my armor saves, my ward saves. The only way to kill them is to touch them or shoot them. My shooting's on the other side of the board. How to word this? They scare me because of their armor-piercing abilities. Nothing else other than like the horde of feral orcs on the far side has me concerned. And that's it. But those things, they can just take the strength out of my army without even trying. So now on the magic, he lets me get Oaken Throne off. He's like, whoop-de-doo, you just won't get anything else. And I don't get any other spells off.
Yeah.
So here's Trebuchet, Betsy, first shot of the game. Spoiler, this is the only shot that hits the entire game. So I killed a lot of goblins.
It was like 16 goblins or something. It was like half. It was pretty much half the unit.
Yeah, when they hit. It hits hard, which you've seen from my Beast Herds game where I killed 17 Longhorns in one turn. And yes, I do know it's their strength 4 now, AP 1, but they did their job. So there, my archers kill a couple of Iron Orcs, I believe. And that's it. So now it's on to Goblin's turn 1. Go ahead.
Yep. So just moving up, I moved the Nasher Wrecking teams up on the left flank. Mark and I both kind of got what we wanted out of this situation. I wanted that left flank because I definitely don't want Grail Knights coming down that flank and coming into my main units. And at the same time, he's definitely not going to trade his Grail Knights for a 65-point unit. So
that's all that is 65 points.
Yep. So we basically just made a trade. He said, okay, you know what, you can have the left flank. I'm going to skirt around this boulder and not let those things just kill one of my more expensive units of knights.
Yeah, they're 224 points.
So that was fine. I moved the scrap wagons up a little bit. I'm trying to keep them in a spot where they can't get charged by anything. So that they can countercharge if his stuff moves up. The spider kind of moves over a little bit, just so it can still shoot. The goblins that are now decimated, they've lost all their steadfast ability, essentially. I don't care about them as much anymore. anymore. I moved my characters out of the unit. I have my BSB and my Goblin Mage in there. They just said peace, and the rest of the goblins just marched up.
I do want to make one note here. Is I asked him what was the threat range if he threw his gits out.
Yes.
And we had a brain fart. We're like, it's 1d6, and then it's like came time, and it's like, no shit, it's 2d6. So, shit, live and learn.
Yeah, I wasn't even intending on throwing them out. I just wanted them to move up so that if he was tempted to charge them, I would just throw them in his face as a stand and shoot reaction. The Iron Orcs kind of chill where they are. The Feral Orcs move up a little bit, and I think that's about it.
They charged.
Oh, I'm sorry. They did charge. What they charged?
They charged knights. They charged knights because on the next picture you want to see that.
Oh, that's
point.
right. Yeah, thank you, Mark. So yeah, I charged this turn. It was a long charge. I fail. I just move up a few inches.
Well, it's not that he failed. It's I chose to flee because I'm like, I really don't want to get hit by that unit in my flank. So, so there are the gits popping out during the shooting phase, killing 4 of the knights right then and there. And now it's Equitaine turn 2. Oh no, I guess you just moved them up. I guess you charged turn 2. I remember you charged. That's what puts me over by the War Machine later on. So, my bad.
Yep.
That's my fault. So here, again, I'm using that terrain to my full advantage. And let's see. Are the goblins running away?
Yes, you charged them with something. You charged them with peasants, I think.
Okay, so I charged his goblins with peasants. And again, those mighty, angry peasants. So he chose to run away from them. I just moved everything up. And again, using that piece of terrain to protect my my Grail Knights from things that are just eat through armor. It's the Pump Wagon, the 2 Mangler Squids, or Mangler Wrecking Crews as they're called now. Again, Spider doesn't scare my Knights. Those things scare my Knights. And that's it. Just a little bit of maneuvering. So I try to get Master of Stone. He stops it. I try to summon Summer's Growth. He stops it.
I hate that spell.
But I do manage to get off Stone Skin. Again, Trebuchet misfires, kills a crew member, and the other one doesn't do anything. And then it's now Orcs and Goblins' turn 2. So here's that. They fled.
No, this is a... Is this what it was?
Yeah.
Them fleeing? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think as to why I lost 2 of them. I think there was a wall. You know what? There's a wall there.
And they took Dangerous
I
Terrain.
had to take Dangerous Terrain tests. And those of you who have watched my videos know that Dangerous Terrain and I do not get along no matter what. I think I only had to do 3 terrain tests. I rolled 2 ones. Maybe 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 6. But no, I will always lose more than what I'm supposed to. Terrain hates me. So here we are, the end of movement of turn 2. And so as you can see, Ryan charged with his Feral Orcs. I fled. He moved his 2 Wrecking Crews. The 1 Pump Wagon is doing la-di-da. And the other one is encroaching on my War Machine and my Fleeing Knights.
Yeah, the one Scrap Wagon didn't have a lot of good choices for movement, because if he moves too close and he gets charged, he's just dead. So I moved him there. He can always turn and move, so if there's a unit that comes back to threaten that side, he can always turn and go that way, or he can just maneuver around the rock.
Alright. So, now it's, so he does rally his Fleeing Goblins, and let's see. That's it. So now here we are. It's now no, it's still turn 2. I don't know why I have so many pictures of the board. Nothing really happens in the magic phase, but this turns around. One of, what are they called? The guys that shoot the
Git launchers.
The Git launcher kills one of my Grail Knights. He killed more than that. I just actually made ward saves. So you can tell by the 6 up there. And my turn, that unit there rallies. And I charge into the goblins with my Knights of Forlorn because they were in range. And I didn't want to do the peasants because I was trying to use the peasants to protect my flanks, because I figure if he's going to hit me and bounce through, he only ends up 1 inch away. Okay, where if I move them, he can then do 3d6 and potentially start hitting knights, and that's the last thing that I want. Even though I do have some regrowth, I just don't want that to happen. I've had it happen to me too often to know it is deadly to my army. And let's see. I get off Master of Earth. I put 3 wounds, respectively, on the Mother Spider there.
That was unexpected.
Yes, it was. My bowmen turn around and take out the Mad Git. Those bowmen take out another Mad Git. And over here, he killed 3 of my knights, and I did a lot, about 5 wounds, 6 wounds?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. At least 6 wounds. And then with ranks, bonus, everything else, they're fling. I choose not to pursue at this point because if I pursue, he's going to have his orcs from one side and he's got his spider from the other, and I don't want that sandwich going on. I have tools against it, but at the same time, Ryan is a very good player. He's a smart player and calculated player. He will see my tools and do what is necessary to counsel my tools. So now it's Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Here's how the board looks. As I said, I chose not to pursue. And
I don't know what that picture is about. Maybe I failed charge again or something. I'm not sure what I was doing.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, it looks like I failed charge again.
Yep, and we were measuring it up there. And let's see, anything else going on?
Just moving around. You see.
You charged the knights up there on the hill.
Yes, my red wagon. I've been waiting for this, like from the beginning of the game. I knew because I put it on that flank for that reason to help out the feral orcs who are kind of slow. So I get that thing in. My one Nasher Wrecking team goes through those peasants, and with 2d6 strength 6 armor piercing hits, it does 2 wounds. It kills 2 peasants. The brown wagon is coming in on the flank there to help out. I move the spider over so that he can't charge with the Knights of Forlorn into the spider. But I don't move him enough that he can't shoot the web launcher. And the goblins rally.
One thing that we're neglecting to tell you is that our war machines, if you see, my one war machine is facing the wrong way. And by the end of the game, because I don't think at this point they really do much of anything.
No.
By the end of the game, every single war machine on the table is broken. Nothing is firing from our war machines. And you had 4.
Yeah, we played this game a couple weeks ago, so sorry if there's a couple things we forget. But we remembered this game because we said this is the game where literally by the end of the game, all 6 war machines that we had misfired at least once and couldn't shoot for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And they were just sitting there.
Yep.
It was horrible.
Yep.
Shooting-wise.
The cow got loose, and my peasants are out trying to get Betsy back. And Orcs, Goblins. So he pops through, and you did pop through my unit of peasants.
Yeah, it only killed 2.
So you get to roll 2d6.
It's 2d6 strength 6 armor piercing hits, and it killed 2.
It killed 2 peasants.
Those peasants are invincible. And guys, you can post about this. I've been trying to convince Mark because every time I play Mark, his peasants do amazing. And I said, you should just stop bringing knights. Just bring a whole army of peasants. You would win every game hands down. And he's like, no.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. Again, I'm an old-time player. I used to just field 50 knights on the board and then 2 units of 20 archers each. Okay, that was my old Bretonnian list. In the arrowhead formation and the lance that was like a pyramid-style formation. So, again, that stupid web launcher turns around and kills a knight. And that one, I think they're misfired. Then his Git launcher turns around and kills another knight. And that was the last of the war machines. So, now on to close combat.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was so excited about this. I'm like, I'm coming in with 2d6 impact hits. They're strength 5, armor piercing 2. So all he has is a 6-up save and a 5-up ward save. I do 8 impact hits. It wasn't like I just rolled poorly for impact hits. And he saved, I think, 3 or 4 of them with the 6-up armor save, and then he ward saved like another 3. And I only killed 1, guys. It it was pretty bad. And he did wound back to me, but I charged, and yeah, we just stick there. So this is turn 4. Sorry, I'm taking over a little bit right now. Mark's going to put his kid to bed. Turn 4 for Equitaine. And this is what the board looks like.
She's still getting ready.
Okay, I'm going to let Mark take over from here.
All right, so here we are again. So turn 4, King of Equitaine. So I'm looking at the board going, all right, what the heck am I going to do? Because he's stopping my regrowth. I've got the Mangler Squids or the Mangler teams, Wrecking Crews now are in my mess. What do? I'm going to call forth my mighty angry peasants and see what they can do. Over here, I march up my unit of bowmen, and I think I still have like 2 bowmen or 3 bowmen left, but I think they end up fleeing and never rallying after that.
Yeah, they died somehow.
Yeah.
And I forgot that they marched 10. I kept thinking they marched 8, and they just sprinted to their deaths.
They only get to march that if they're within the inspiring presence of a knight with Oath of Fealty. And that's my general. Inspiring presence, 12 inches, and off to the races they go.
That's just blind devotion right there.
Absolutely.
Just run into that thing.
Absolutely. So, they turn around, they march forward. The other one just does a slight sidestep. Now, when these things die, they do 3d6, strength 6 hits, armor piercing. He killed 6 peasants. That is the angriest unit of peasants I own.
The lady loves those peasants for whatever reason. That's 5d6 strength 6 hits, and it killed 8 peasants. It's unbelievable.
And over here, Master of Earth turned around, did 3 wounds onto his pump wagon, and now it's turned him. Now, you know what? You did charge because I can see the model there. So he charges the rear of those angry peasants
With that scrap
with
wagon.
the scrap wagon. Now the knights, I think you've charged them again and they fled again.
Yes.
And they just managed to stay on the board.
Yep.
And that's what's going on with the feral orcs over there. And let's see. Wrong button. So I turn around.
The scrap wagon kills 1 peasant, and then he kills it. He did the 1 wound that he needed to kill it.
So you rolled a 1 for his impact hit, does the wound, and they just turn around and do a single wound because it's only toughness 4, isn't it?
It's I was thinking if anything else, I'll just neuter the unit completely, and then I'm still distracting with toughness 4. So you needed 5s to hit it.
Yeah,
And then you needed 5s to wound it. And I was in the rear, so it's not like you're getting all your attacks. He still killed it. Didn't matter.
And over here, I turn around, I get off regrowth, hence a knight comes back, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
But I only get 1 knight back. And it was a miscast, so it kills a bunch of that unit, and I had charged into his mother spider. I'm going, crap. So end of combat. Oh, and the peasants, those angry peasants charged the goblins.
Yeah.
That rallied. So he turned around, he killed 6 of my remaining Knights of Forlorn, leaving me just the 1 champion, the Paladin, and my Mage. And Ryan was salivating because my Paladin left 1 wound on on the Mother Spider, and all I had was my champion. My champion did it in. My champion did the final wound that killed her. So bravo to that champion. Those mighty peasants turn around. They killed the goblins.
The peasants are invincible. They made a long charge. They were in the woods, so they didn't even get a rank bonus. They still...
Oh, no, you do get rank bonus now in the woods. You don't get steadfast in the woods.
Oh.
Well, we
okay.
misplayed it this game, but yeah.
But regardless, they just... And I had nets, too, so I threw nets on them. They were only strength 2. Still won combat and killed them.
Over here, I did something stupid. So I'm going to go back a couple of screenshots here. So, it's late at night. I lost my marbles. That's the only thing I can say is they're feral orcs. I know they're feral orcs, and I was getting antsy. Like, I have knights. I need to charge in my knights. So I charge in both my Ground Knights and my Knights of the Realm into that unit of feral orcs, and he had a spell off. They allowed him to reroll to hit, and then he's got the reroll wounds. That was a mistake, and Ryan, I think, completely agrees with me. That was a mistake. What I should have done is I just should have parked my archers up in front of them, so that no matter what, you're going to end up moving towards my trebuchets, giving me either flank or rear, depending on what goes on. I should have done a reform, pulled the Ground Knights back a little bit, and then say, okay, we're going to sit down and do the play and wait game and see what happens. That's what I should have done. But I charged in with both. I did not do that. I was overzealous. So going back to where we were, he kills. I think the Ground Knights maybe killed some. I think I won combat by 2, but you were steadfast.
You actually did win combat by 1 because you did a lot of wounds. But the problem was that I have so many attacks at strength 5. I'm rerolling to hit, and then they only need 2s to wound for the most part, except on the Grails, and then rerolling 1s to wound.
Yeah.
Because they're lore attribute. So it was just the sheer number of wounds that are getting through. You're not going to armor and ward save all of them.
Yeah. So I turn around, I lost everything except for my characters. So those guys did a reform to try to go after the broken war machines to at least get some points. He moved his BSB out of the way from those angry peasants.
Yeah, I was done with those peasants.
And let's see. So over here, I rally my knights all the way in the back there. And that's the last of the war machines to break down. But again, it wasn't doing anything on the entire game. He puts a wound on my BSB. And he ends up killing my mage. That she already had a wound on her. And that's it. So at this point in time, I ended up fleeing from that combat, if memory serves, and it was so late. It was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. We're like, that's it, we're done. So it was definitely went to the orc. We didn't calculate what was left because we both had stuff left on the board. It's just it definitely was an Orc and Goblin victory. Just don't know how big of a margin it was.
Yeah, especially when all those knights died and then his general and his BSB fleeing. It was just we were just like, all right, that's it, and we didn't do objectives anyway.
Yeah. As I said in the beginning of this report, is there they were sitting on the table and like turn 3, like, oh look, they're still here. Oops. So for the MVPs of this game, it was a very, very fun game. Feral Orcs turn around and killed two knight lances at once. Granted, they were beat up knight lances, but the spell and everything else just decimated them. And for Equitaine, those peasants. Those peasants.
Those peasants got pretty much all your points.
No.
Just about.
No, my archers took out your gits and
which don't get you anything.
Well, fine, be that way. And the Forlorn took out your mother spider.
Okay, the Forlorn got the spider, but the peasants got the Nasher wrecking team. They got a scrap wagon. They got the goblins, and then they got the banner from the goblins. So they got pretty much everything else.
All right, so go, mighty peasants. Thank you so much for listening to this. We definitely had a blast doing this, and we'll see you next time.